to our Monday Night Live. I have a reminder announcement on the screen here that it's going to happen this week for my email list. So I wanted to give you all another shot here to not miss out this month. That my email list, those super fans of mine, as I like to think of them at least, are going to receive a piece of content, one of the shorter flows that my membership has access to, and my email list, they will get 3 days of access to this flow. So if you're not on my email list, I would love if you would join, and you can go to bit.ly/yoga with TG email, and that should open it up for you. You can also message me. I'm happy to add you manually as well. So don't miss out on that opportunity to be on the email list and get 3 days of free access to something that lives behind the membership paywall. So 3 days, it's going to go out sometime this week. I haven't put it together yet, but this week my email list is going to get that. So bit.ly/yoga with TG email. All right, so tonight I wanted to talk about the 4 F's. So self-care is not selfish, but oftentimes 4 F's kind of get in our way. So I'll lead with what the 4 F's are so that you're not sitting there wondering what I'm going to mention next. So I'm going to give it away right here from the start. So fear versus fact, failure, and forgiveness. Those are the 4 F's that we really have to get our mind around when we think about this idea of self-care not being selfish. So fear versus fact. I think this needs to be first because I think it really is a key tenet to what stops us most. That oftentimes if we're tempted to try something new, or we kind of want to go and try that new class or go to this different place or take this new course, whatever it is, when we're tempted to do that, often we delay and we come up with all sorts of belief systems or reasons of why we shouldn't, that we play to ourselves as facts. But often they're not. They're built around a fear of the unknown or fear of failure, which we're going to talk about in a second. And so often, because of that, we'll set up these false triggers. Well, if I fill in the blank, then I will do this thing, right? So if I lose 15 pounds, then I'll try yoga, right? Or if I do yoga every day at home for a year, then I will join a studio or do the online membership. And we set these like super hard bars to clear for ourselves. And I'm not sure, well, I'm pretty sure that 9 times out of 10, those are simply to keep us from taking that action because we're afraid of something. And really taking a hard look at what has kept us from doing the things that we really want to do. There are things we want to pursue. There are things we want to do. And why aren't we? What are the reasons that we're giving ourselves? And are they based in fact? They might be. There might be facts, especially right now in our economic climate and our situations with work and home in the face of this COVID-19 pandemic. There very well may be facts. But I think there's also a lot of fears that we are treating as if they are facts. So first, I think you really want to challenge yourself on why have I not done those things, and really trying to determine if they are fear-based or factually based. And I think the number one fear that keeps us stationary is the fear of failure. If I go to that yoga class, what if I'm the worst one? Right? What if I fall down? That's a fear. What if I just flat out fail? For example, I buy the online membership or I subscribe to Teresa's online membership, and then I don't use it for 3 weeks, right? Failure is a thing. It is. Name me someone who hasn't failed at something. And think about, too, some of your greatest achievements, things you're super proud of for having done. You ran the risk of failing at those things, too. But you didn't. You succeeded. And so you might fail. You also might not. And the way I've started to really try to frame failure, because I feel like I've been pushing a lot of boundaries. I'm doing Facebook Lives. I can fail at this. Not many people maybe watch these, but I'm still doing it. Right? I'm putting myself on video a lot more for my membership, for Zoom classes that I'm doing now. I can totally fall over. I can fail. I can do all of this stuff, but even failure, I feel like, is still progress. That, yeah, you might fail at that, but maybe it leads you to something else. Or maybe you find something else along the way. And so even failure is still forward progress. It's still learning something. And everybody fails. What's the worst thing that could happen? So you go to yoga and you fall over. I fall over. I fell over tonight, actually. In Yoga Sculpt, I fell out of one of the balance poses. I don't even remember, but I remember I fell over. I wasn't supposed to fall over, right? So even if that happens, okay, that you're fine, right? It happens to everybody. It's a short-term issue, which leads to the fourth F of forgiveness. Just because you fell over one day, or you purchased that thing that you thought you were going to love and then you didn't love it, you don't need to then hold that over yourself every time you want to go do something else. A lot of times those little failures we then make into those facts about ourselves that keep us then from doing the next thing that we want to do. So instead of learning and growing potentially from a minor failure, we then use it against ourselves. And we say, well, you can never go try another fitness class ever again because you fell over that one time. I'm going to do Sculpt again. I'm going to do it next Monday, right? I'm going to do more yoga on Wednesday. It's okay. Everybody has fallen over. Taylor's saying she didn't even notice, right? And that she falls over some too. See, we all fall over. Thank you, Taylor, for saying that you fall over too. It's so normal and natural. Everybody has those little failures. But if we forgive ourselves and we say like, it happens to everybody, we can try that next thing. Or we can try that same thing again next week or next month. And we can say, okay, well, what changes can I make to be more successful when I try the next time, right? What can I learn rather than what can I hold against myself? And really just letting that go. And I think what's really super sad about these four F's is that we tend to use them against ourselves more than anything. And I don't know why it is that we have the hardest time when it comes to investing in ourselves. That how often we use fear versus fact, we use a fear of failure, and we use a lack of forgiveness to keep from investing in ourselves. I think that's super sad. And I don't want people to do that, even if it's not yoga, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. I don't want fear to get in your way. I don't want the chance of failure to hold you back. I don't want you to not be forgiving yourself and you holding something over yourself that is however old. And if you took that first step, there's that quote about like, if you started today, where would you be in a year? Right? That's so true in a lot of ways, that if we take that first step, if we make that investment in ourselves, where could we go? Right? And trying to look at not just the potential downsides of something, but also the potential good and benefit. And, I'm right there with everybody else. I know these 4Fs because that is what I do too. And I do all of these things. That's why I can talk to you about them, because I know this is what we do. Even doing this membership that I've been talking about each week was a huge thing. And I thought about it for more than 6 months. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but it took an investment. I had to get the platform, and it's a recurring monthly business expense, right? And I had fear, that what if it doesn't pay for itself, or I can't pay for that. And I've told people I'm going to do this, and then I fail, right? And I did those, if I do this, then I'll do that. Like, well, maybe if I reach this goal, then maybe it's a sign I should do the membership. And I had all sorts of fear-based belief systems, that I'm not very well known. No one outside of here, my friends, knows me. I'm a small town yoga teacher, right? I grew up in a smaller town than even the small town I'm in now. Like, who's going to want this? And I really had to basically decide to accept the risk of failing, because I wanted this opportunity to reach out to more people and to be available for more people that can't come and join me in the studio. And so I decided it was worth it to invest in myself and in my brand of yoga, to put this membership together and then to tell you guys about it too. Because that's real commitment. Right now, people know about it. And if I fail, more people are going to know. So there it is. More people are going to know. And I've, had failures before, but I'm really proud of this membership. And I'm proud that I took the leap and put it together. I'm really proud of the content that's in it and how it's designed. And so I'm proud to share it, even if it fails. But I hope it will not, because I could succeed too, and it could be the greatest thing. And I have great founding members joining, and I'm super excited about it. And so whatever it is that you're thinking about, that you're maybe having fear-based belief systems about, I hope you really think about it and decide when and how you want to invest in yourself, and that you can overcome fear and the fear of failure and give yourself forgiveness and just take a leap. So have a good night, and hopefully I will see you soon, either in class or back here next week. Have a great night.